Yo, yo, yo. We back with another episode of the No Pressure Podcast. It's been a little while, so we happy to have y'all back. Happy to have y'all tapped in. I'll be your host tonight, Miles, Coach Miles, whatever you want to call me. Got my brother with me, Tej, my dog, my brother from another mother. Yeah, man, we got a lot to get into. We got a lot to get into today, man. First and foremost, before we get started, I do want to shout out my guy, Kendall Taylor. Wingate knows him as KT. My guy, he signed to College of Charleston today, making that jump from Division II to Division One. For y'all who don't know, KT, Division II All American, had a hell of a season this past year. Super humble guy, kind hearted, give you the shirt off his back. Fierce competitor, can score at all three levels. Extremely high level scorer, extremely efficient, all that good stuff. So I just wanted to show him a little bit of love, man. Shout out to you, KT, going to College of Charleston, making that leap. I think you're going to do amazing things. I think you're going to do great. Stay humble, stay hungry. Keep that chip on your shoulder. I think that's something that's going to be big for you. Make sure you not only do you know that you're taking a step up a level, but you need to also let them know too that you can play with them just like you did at our level, at the Division II level. So, man, just wanted to shout him out. Like I said, continue to stay hungry. I think you're gonna have an amazing year, and congratulations on your pick, man.
Hey, yeah, man. Congrats, KT. Got to see you play in person once. I was a fan instantly. Coach, I always speak highly of you. I'm rooting for you from a distance, man. Go do great, and wish you all the best for sure.
Absolutely. So, just kind of getting into it, man. Let's go ahead and digest the weekend. How did everything go your way? Talk about anything that you had going on this weekend, Coach, if you could.
Nothing too crazy, bro. Ashley was doing her hair. She been pretty much working on that all weekend. So yesterday, I took the boys to we had a baseball game on a Saturday, so I took the boys out to the baseball game. They really enjoyed themselves, just running around, chilling. Got them out. It was at 12, so perfect timing. Came back. They played a little bit more outside. I was able to get me a little nap in, and they napped. So Saturday was real smooth, and as far as today goes, bro, really just been chilling. And just like yesterday, chilling, watching basketball, enjoying these playoffs, man. I'm thoroughly enjoying this time right now. But yeah, bro, it's been real chill. I cooked today. I made Sunday dinner, made some chicken pad thai. I really got in my bag today.
Oh,
You probably,
okay.
yeah. It was really like that too. My youngest son, Chosen, had 3 plates. Yeah, that's, bro. When I tell you, bro, like that man eats like no other. It's crazy. Like if Cash is done, I've like Chosen. You won't. He just get on over there and go to town, bro. That nigga, that dude can eat.
Nah, I feel you. Nah, it must have been good though. It must have been really good. I ain't really know you could cook like that, man.
Whoa, hey, don't do me like that, man. Hey, I'm a father first. I'm gonna make sure mine eat. Hey, come on,
Nah,
ask
nah,
Ashley
nah,
about
nah.
me. I need my wife to tap in the comments and let these folks know how I get down. I ain't gonna even speak on it. She got that.
Yeah. My bro, man, he can definitely throw down in the kitchen, man. I was just trolling, but TJ, man, he wear a lot of hats, man. He can do a little bit of everything, man. Definitely a talented guy. Can sing,
Ah,
can
whoa.
cook, can coach.
Sing.
Hey.
Nah. Legend has it though. Legend has it that back in the day, they said you used to sound like Drake. I don't know though. I don't know. They said you used to sound like Drake back in the day. I don't. Is there any truth to that? Did someone ever tell you that, bro? Someone ever tell you sounded like Drake?
Oh, okay. Quick story, and then we're gonna get back to the pod. All right. So back in the day, I sung to my wife. At the time, she was my girlfriend. All right, so I was singing to her. I was singing, what's that Drake song?
A Night Off.
A night off. Yep. I'm not gonna sing it right now. Because I ain't got the vocals like how I used to have it back in the day. But yeah, man, sung it to her. She fell for me instantaneously. Matter of fact. So
Man, so
Mariah,
at some point,
if you listening to this, don't try to be in the comments and start to lie, because
no,
I'm telling facts.
I'm about. So listen. This is when I knew that Mariah Latrice, like I said, Harris at the time, Mariah Latrice Harris was in love and delusional. Miles is telling me, I can sing.
Why she gotta be delusional though?
I mean, cause Drake. This is so. I don't know. So we all together. We was always together. Miles telling me he can sing. I'm like, bro, you can't sing better than me. And Miles is like, bro, like, you can ask Mariah, ask her if I can sing. And I guess she gassed him up back when he first sung her this song. So I was like, ain't no way Mariah about to just lie for this dude. So I'm like, yo, Mariah, can Miles sing? Oh, I said, do Miles sound like Drake? She said, I mean, he did a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Ain't no way. Ain't no damn. You just in love. And at that moment, that's when I knew that we bias towards the ones we love and vice versa, man. So, but hey, she said it.
Yes.
So my boy sound like Drake and when he's singing Night Off.
Hey man, she said it, not me.
Facts.
Don't shoot the messenger, as they like to say.
Hey, facts. Hey man, but was you finished with your weekend, Coach?
Yeah. So Saturday, went to work, went to campus, was there for a couple hours. Then after that, came back home, and me, wife, boys, we went to the Egg Roll Company. The Egg Roll Company is a black-owned spot in Charlotte. I highly recommend it. If anybody feeling, if they want to go to a new food spot, a place they ain't never been to, try the Egg Roll Company. It's like I said, it's in Charlotte. It's really, really good. I ain't gonna give too many details about it, but just try it, man. Just try it. Take my word for it. I think y'all definitely enjoy it. But we did that, then came back home, and then today, we went to Carolina Place Mall, ran some errands out there, and yeah, back at the crib now. So definitely ready to tap into the pod and get straight to it.
Word, man. That's what's up, man. That is what's up. Yeah, I seen Mariah picture. Definitely did look good. Definitely have to try that out next time or sometime when I'm in the city again. But man, the week gonna be pretty smooth. Tomorrow, we're actually going with it's like 150 of the kids in the high school, which I mean, it was supposed to be 150. It might be a little bit less, but that's the majority of the high school. But we're going to Washington D.C. tomorrow on a little charter bus, bro. So we leaving at like 6:30 in the morning. Go be back at like 10 p.m. So actually looking forward to that, man. I ain't got to worry about a typical school day. I can stay up a little bit late because I can sleep on the bus. But yeah, bro, that's gonna be my Monday tomorrow.
I was about to say, so you're not driving?
Oh hell no, nah. They got a charter bus, bro. Yeah, man, ain't no way. I will. If it's up to me, I will never drive a bus to DC, man. Because one thing about me, I love Warrenton because I hate traffic. I mean, I can get to where I need to go. I ain't got to worry about no traffic. I've never been in traffic in Warrenton, North Carolina. Never in my life.
Facts.
DC though,
so with this,
I hate it.
You said you hate DC?
Hate it. Hate DC.
Chill.
Hate traffic.
Why you say that?
You might have a 3-mile drive, but it'll take you 42 minutes to get there. Traffic and stoplights.
Oh, that's crazy. Let me ask you this though. Like, what's the occasion for the trip? They just going out just to just get out of Warrenton, or like? Yeah,
I mean, it's not really an occasion. So we are PBIS school, which is like positive behavior something school. So it's just a trip. It's not the senior trip because it's open to the 9th through 12th grade, but kids that met a certain criteria got to go, as long as they got permission and got all of their 4 teachers to sign off. So I've been teaching here 6 years now. It's our first time doing something like this. So, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Hopefully the kids just, don't give us a reason to not do this again, so we can hopefully keep this thing going.
Right. How long is the drive?
On the bus, probably going to be like 4 hours, 4.5.
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought.
But like I say, I'm chilling. Yeah, I'm riding. Got charging port. I got everything in there. I'm just cooling, bro. So I'm just enjoying the trip. I'll probably download a couple of episodes, have my AirPods in. If I'm able to get some Wi-Fi on the bus, I'm gonna definitely be editing this so we can get this out to the folks. You know what I'm saying? This episode 9, Coach. We moving.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We got everything rolling, man. I'm super happy about our progress. We're just gonna continue to get better, man. Continue to get better. Continue to improve. I do feel like we have made improvements since the first pod, and we just want to continue to move everything forward. So definitely appreciate y'all, man. Definitely appreciate the viewers. I wanted to just go ahead and start talking about a few things, man, that's been happening, the past couple of days. First and foremost, NFL draft concluded, and it was a lot of controversy. Well, I don't know if I'll necessarily say controversy, but just some stuff that was supposed to happen that didn't happen, in my opinion. And obviously, we're talking about Shadeur Sanders, top rated player in the draft. I think he slid all the way to the 4th round?
Fifth
round. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I think Mel Kiper had him like as a top 10 talent in the draft.
Top 2 quarterback. Second quarterback off the board.
Right. And like for him to slide to the 5th round, I guess I wanted to get your opinion on it. A lot of people say that Shadeur, his arrogance, his cockiness, kind of led to not his demise, but led to him sliding to the 5th round. Me personally, and then I'm gonna let you go. But me personally, I do feel like he's not an arrogant guy. I don't think he's a guy who, you just don't like him for whatever reason. I feel like in my mind, in my head, I think he's a good kid. I think he works hard. I think he's an underdog, started off at Jackson State. He didn't start off at Miami. He didn't start off at Alabama. He started off at Jackson State. Like, I mean, I think we should be saluting him for that. Just starting off at a lower level, and then making his way to the Power 5 and, having the success that he did. I think that's something that you should be cheering for. Obviously his father, great player, Hall of Fame player, a guy who, was, people say cocky, but at the end of the day, I feel like his talent spoke volumes. And I mean, Shadeur is the same way. I think his talent speaks volumes just in terms of how good of a player he is, leading Jackson State, leading that program to a good season, leading Colorado to a couple good seasons. Like, I feel like the NFL just kind of did him dirty, and ultimately, I'm rooting for him, man. I want him to do great. I want him to get an opportunity, and then I feel like once he gets the opportunity, I think he's gonna thrive for real. So, kind of give me your thoughts, Coach. What you thinking?
So, Coach, I honestly took this with 2 different hats. So, my first hat, I wholeheartedly believe that Shadeur Sanders should not have slipped to the 5th round. He was the second, not even arguably, but 1A, 1B with Cam Ward. I can't even think about the guy that the Saints drafted before him that went to Louisville. But that guy is not better than Shadeur Sanders. From a talent standpoint, what I'm saying, you don't slip that far. And I don't think he's arrogant at all. I think he's very confident in himself, as he should be. I feel like the quarterback position, just like the cornerback position, are those positions where you need a little bit of an edge, a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. I had no issues with him saying, like, if you're not looking to draft someone to change your franchise, don't draft me. I have no issues with that. So that was my first hat. Now, my second hat, as more reports started to come out, I will say this. one of the reports came out that said that a couple of GMs were hesitant based on something that Deion Sanders said on the podcast. And one of the things that he had stated was that if they didn't like where he was going, they were going to pull Eli Manning. For those that don't know, when Eli got drafted, I think back in 2003, or somewhere along that line, he got drafted by the Chargers after vehemently saying, like, I don't want to go to the Chargers. They don't need to draft me or whatnot. And essentially told him that he wasn't going to play for him if they drafted him, him and his team. Well, the Chargers did draft him. And he ultimately got traded to the Giants, but that's what Deion Sanders meant by pulling the Eli Manning. So if I'm a GM, I may hesitate with that. Like, yeah, I may, Shadeur is, talented. I may need a quarterback, but I don't know if for those that don't know, he also wore in his bowl game custom red and blue cleats, insinuating that he said, "Oh, we already know where we're going. Y'all go find out." That would be the Giants' colors. So let's say if the Saints were to draft him, or the Steelers for that matter, and he don't want to go there, and they quote unquote pull Eli Manning, then they essentially went to the draft pick. So I got that hat with the GMs. Also, it was reports coming out about that he purposely bombed his interviews. Now, do we know that? We don't know. We'll never know for sure. But if that was the case, that wouldn't surprise me. Now, and what I say about bombing his interviews, I don't know what he's saying. I don't know if he's giving him the cold shoulder. I saw a report that said that one exec had an issue that he wore his cap backwards. Like, shit like that does not bother me. That doesn't bother me at all. But if it comes down to, I do think that it's time for Deion Sanders to, when I say take a step back, be a father, be a supportive father, be there for your son and whatnot. But I guess what you're saying, that could have been the potential factor in Shadeur slipping, him saying that oh yeah, if we don't like where we're going to pull Eli Manning, for the public to hear. And I think GMs, they know the influence that Deion has on his son. So I think some GMs didn't take that lightly. Now at the end of the day, I think it was just talk. I think Shadeur was going to be happy to be drafted, no matter where he went. I think what this has done for Shadeur now is just something that I'm not going to say that he needed, but this is something that's going to fuel him. I think he's going to be exceptional. I think the locker room, the NFL players in that locker room saw what happened. So they're naturally going to be like, you know what, bro, we got you. We're going to make sure that you're good. We're going to make sure that you're successful. We're going to do everything. Browns defense he's in a great situation with the Browns defense. Reigning defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett. And I mean, he got some good weapons around him. So long as he went, I don't think he's going to, start immediately. They got a deep quarterback room in there, but there's nothing wrong with that. Shadeur's going to be fine when he does. I think the locker room, once he is the starting quarterback, wherever that may be, the locker room's going to be bought into him, and he's going to thrive. He's going to shine. And I think in large part because those guys in that locker room are going to do everything in their power to make sure that Shadeur Sanders is successful. And I hope he's very successful. I hope he wins. I hope he gets a ring or two when it's all said and done. I do feel like the NFL collided against him, and just tried to make an example out of him. And I mean, I guess they kind of did. You're a projected top 5 pick, and you slipped to the 5th round. I think that speaks volumes, both positive and negative.
Let me ask you this, and I definitely appreciate that insight for sure. Let me ask you this: if he wasn't as demonstrative as he is, same thing as his father in a sense, as far as being out in the public eye, being vocal. Some say flashy, whatever the case may be. If he was this regular run-the-mill quarterback who put up great numbers, do you think it would have been the same situation? Or do you feel like he would have been drafted as a top 5 pick?
I do think that. I mean, I do think his name played a factor in everything, man. Like him being, Shadeur Sanders, probably the most marketable guy in college football last year. And people understanding what come with that. So it's just kind of like, hey man, slow down your little ego train, or we gonna humble you. We gonna make an example out of you. We don't care who you are. We don't care about your father. So I do think if he was just, when I say a regular Joe Blow, meaning like Cam Ward is not a Joe Blow, but we don't know Cam Ward's father is in Deion Sanders. Again, another highly marketable guy in NFL history. Cam Ward is your traditional, got out the mud story. Because one thing I compare, the whole Shadeur Sanders from a marketable standpoint to Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel was very flamboyant, out there, money, something like doing all these things. So was Baker Mayfield, and
Baker Mayfield.
both of them went number one overall. There was no issues or whatnot. The only difference with these guys is their fathers weren't talking. Like I kind of feel like the black father, especially when it comes to athletes, they want them to be a certain type of way. It's a shame for us to boast about our kids and brag about our kids. But shit, man, I brag about chosen and catches more than anything. Like especially if they deserve it. Like it's not like Shadeur was mediocre. Like I think about LeVar Ball and his sons. Like people wanted him to just be quiet and watch his sons play. Nah, he should be like. It's an issue when fathers aren't involved, and it's a even more of an issue when they are involved. Then it's like, oh, we need to scale it back. Why we got to take a step back? John Moran and his dad, they was criticizing him, being on the sideline and said he was doing too much. Like, what is he doing? He's just out there being a fan, not only just a fan of basketball, but a fan of his son who is playing basketball. So that's just my only issue with the whole media. I just feel like Shadeur got punished for some of Deion's antics, but again, I don't think Deion did anything wrong. So, yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I definitely agree. Just in terms of Deion just kind of being out there. I think the NFL wanted to make an example out of him. The what bothers me though is that you're right. In terms of the NFL wanted to make an example out of those two. Like, it shouldn't be about that. It should be about this young man, how talented he is, how this young man can help a franchise. It can turn around a franchise just like he turned around Jackson State, just like he turned around Colorado. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Like you just said, it's not like he's mediocre. It's not like he's a fifth-round talent. He was a first-round talent. He was a top 5 pick, in my opinion. And, I mean, the politics just kind of getting involved. It just shows that at the end of the day, it's the NFL. The NFL has always had issues, not just on the field, but, just other stuff outside of football. And, I mean, the politics is just something that athletes have to deal with. So, I do want him to be successful. I do want him to thrive. Shit, at this point, I want a jersey. Because I think once he does get that opportunity, I think he's going to do great. And I would love for him to get a Super Bowl, bro. Like you said, I think it's not like he's in a terrible situation. I think the Browns are a team where if he does get that opportunity, I think he can do a lot of really good things with it. So, shout out to Shadeur, shout out to Deion, shout out to the whole family. One thing that really bothered me for real, though, when they did the prank phone call, trying to get bro all excited. Like, when I first saw that story or when I first saw the video, I thought it was actually fake.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm Shadeur. Like, he was legitimately confused. For people who don't know, apparently, Shadeur got a fake phone call, and I guess the guy who was on the other end of the call basically said that he acted as a GM for the Saints. Mm-hmm. And then he said that we were going to take Shadeur with this next pick. And, Shadeur, it seems like he got a little excited, as anybody would, obviously. And then the guy on the other end, he said, we're going to take you with this next pick. And then he said, well, you're just going to have to wait a little bit longer. And then he hung up the phone. And, his whole camp was confused. Nobody in the camp knew what was going on. And I just felt like that was just, I don't know, they just taking trolling to a whole different level. It's kind of like playing with somebody's dreams, playing with somebody's, special moment. I just didn't really like that at all. And
yeah, the shit not funny.
NFL got to do something about that. It's
and
nothing funny about that.
That was a private number that only NFL executives had, and they came out with a report earlier that apparently it was the son of the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons. His son is the one that pretty much orchestrated the whole thing. And then to even have, like, he came out with an apology on Instagram. They posted, which to me is just bullshit. His dad told him to do it. But it's just like, how are you sorry when you make the phone call, you record it, and then you take the time to post it online? Like,
Yeah.
And that's just and that's just shit that just bothers me because, like I said, you laughing like this is not a laughing matter. Like this is someone's dream. Like it's the first time, as far as I know, the first time something like this has ever been done. Like especially like how did you get this number? That's really how did you get this number? And you're like, what gave you the gall and audacity to make this phone call to this kid? And mind you, you're a kid yourself, but like the shit's not funny. It's not funny at all. So like
Yes.
I ain't like it. I ain't like it either. And that's why I hope Shadeur. I mean, and like I said, I'm a Ravens fan, so I'm not even a fan of the Browns. But I'm a fan of certain players. I'm a fan of his. When he gets this opportunity, I hope that he's able to shine and excel. I hope they beat the shit out of the Falcons whenever they play the Falcons. If they when that time does come, because that was just I hope the defensive coordinator of the Falcons do something about it and handles it. And the apology needs to be just as loud as that damn video because that shit went viral. You know what I'm saying? And it just
Yeah,
got a lot of
like you embarrassed that man in front of the whole world like that. That's childish, bro. That's
But
childish.
what
That's
I
just
read
foul.
is he called Shadeur. Shadeur took the call. Versus what I read, Shadeur took the call, accepted his apology. So shout out to Shadeur, which I mean I know he got drafted anyway. He ain't worried about it. But it's just like as a just a human being, like what happened to being a good person? What happened to empathizing with people? You know what I'm saying? Like and then you just ain't got no reason to do that. Like I mean, last time I made a prank call, it's probably like middle school, man. Like, what we doing prank? Like, what you gaining out of that? Now you just look like a low down scum. I just can't respect it. But I mean, if Shadeur forgave him, I guess. I mean, I ain't. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no personal tie to it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, facts. I'm on the same way, bro. I'm on the same way, man. But hey, shout out Shadeur, man. Be legendary. You know, you gonna do your thing, man. You gonna do your thing. Yeah, go ahead, hold up your AP, man. I ain't got
And
on the
bust down
AP
that
right now, but
AP, perfect time, man.
you feel
Gotta
me?
spin that.
I'm a fan, bro.
Hold
I'm
up,
a
bust
fan.
down
I
the
hope he do great.
AP, perfect time, man. He hit that dog.
That's
Hey
my
man,
joint. That's my joint.
but man, so yeah, man, like you said, shout out Shadeur. And hopefully he has a great career for many years to come, man. But so coach, before we kind of tap into these playoffs, I wanted to ask you something, man. So like something that my kids, when I say kids, like students, my students always assume is that like I'm gonna coach my sons, and I'm like, and my response is, man, like I'm very hesitant early on, and saying like, yeah, I was not. It's not necessarily something I aspire to do. Like, oh man, I can't wait to coach. And I ain't talking about like little league. Like, I fully anticipate I'm gonna be his t-ball coach and stuff like that. But I'm talking about like once he's like, whatever sport it may be, like this is what I want to do. But let's say it is basketball, like. I don't know, man. So I feel like it's that fine line between coach and dad. So, like, what are your thoughts on potentially coaching Kyler or Cade in basketball? Now, where I'm at with it is like, if Cassius or Chosen was like, Dad, I want you to coach me on some Coach Carter shit, when his son pretty much forced his will into the school without his dad's permission and all that, like, on something like that, then, okay, cool. But it's just like, I just feel like I don't know, man. Like I guess finding that median between like dad and coach. So I mean, it's just not something like I'm just so gung ho about. I mean, of course, from a training standpoint, we're going to train our kids and whatnot, but coaching and training are two totally different things. Same umbrella, same scope, different umbrella. So, what are your thoughts about like coaching your sons?
Man, me personally, I first and foremost, I feel like every father is entitled to his own opinion. So, if you want to coach your kids, if you want to train them, if you don't want to coach them, if you don't want to train them, I mean, it's to each his own. Me personally, I don't see myself coaching Kyler or Cade. And that's just my opinion right now. It could change. Obviously I'll give them pointers, I'll do whatever I need to do in terms of training them, getting them to the gym. If they want to work, I'm all for it.
Facts.
But I don't know, man. I feel like I'm not gonna say I had bad experience. Because I definitely didn't. My father, he pushed me. He wanted me to be great, and I definitely appreciate him for that. But I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna be the type to, and it's kind of my personality too. I feel like I'm just gonna be the guy who kind of sits back, chills,
Let them hear a
obviously
different
we're
voice.
coaches
Let
right
them hear
now.
a different voice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're coaching right now, so I mean, a lot of I feel like at times, like a lot of this coaching shit can consume you. So like on a Saturday, I just want to enjoy Kyler and Cade playing basketball. I don't know if I necessarily want to have that mindset of, oh, I need to teach them how to do this. I need
That's
to
real.
do it because at the end of the day, if he has a coach who's invested in him and who is, pouring into him as best as he or she can, that's all I can ask for. But it's hard for me to say as of right now. But I do anticipate, just as of right now, I do anticipate me, going to a game on a Saturday morning and being a fan of my sons, as opposed to going to a game and, trying to coach them. But I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with experience. I know, some fathers put their sons in a rec league team or AU team and they don't like how it's going, and they just take matters into their own hands. I think that was Dion's story with Shadeur and Shiloh. Like, he didn't like how they rec league football team was orchestrated, so he just did it himself. So
Mm.
I think it's just all going to be on experience and how we want to handle it as a family. I would, first and foremost, I do not mind coaching Kyler or Cade. Like, if that's something I feel like I need to do, then it's something I need to do. But I'm a chill dude, man. If I go to a game on a Saturday, I'm just gonna be chilling. If he scored 30, I'm gonna just be chilling. I'll clap. Do your thing, son.
Internally, though, you're gonna be going crazy. Externally, I agree with you. Internally, you're gonna be like, yo, this motherfucker going crazy, dog.
Nah, for real. But I don't know. It's something I'll probably go back and forth with. So,
Same coach, like I said, I'm in the same
my
boat.
my answer might change next week.
Yeah, but like I said, it's just my students again. It's just they just assume, oh yeah, man, you can't. I know you can't wait to coach your son. I'm just like, it's not even like crossing my mind. It's not even like a thought, especially with basketball. Like I said, of course our boys are around it all the time, so of course they're gonna maybe gravitate to it. But like they be like, if he don't play basketball, you gonna be sad. No, I'm not gonna be sad at all. Like whatever he want to do, I'm with it, man. Like. One thing I really think Chosen is gonna be a musician, man, because he always drumming, singing, and like if that's what he with, I'm ready. If he rocking, I'm rolling, bro. Like some of you alluded to earlier, like I'm gonna be there to provide them whatever they need. Like if it's going to the gym, all right, y'all, let's go to the gym. If it's that I want to get faster and run track, let's do it. Baseball, swimming, whatever I can do to help you figure out what you want to be, whether it's an athlete or not, I'm gonna do that. Whether it's basketball or not, my feelings ain't gonna be hurt, But I like you said, as of right now, I don't really have an aspiration to do it. I just want to relax, sit back, be a fly on the wall, provide different perspective, different insights. Because I say, for the most part, I've been very fortunate to have some great parents of players that I've coached who kind of just let me do my thing and they trust me with their kids. Whether even when we fall out, we go back and forth or we disagree, or they understand that I'm trying to guide their children in the right direction and they trust me in doing that. So, I'm going to, be that same way for the respective coach. If it's not me, just staying out the way. And pretty much being a father, not a coach towards my son. Like, this is, you were right here, or I agree with your coach, or maybe share an experience in which I've had with a player, and then my son can kind of, pick up like, oh, okay, maybe this was what coach meant, because coaching Andrew was one thing, that's my brother, and that worked out fine, but I think it'll be a different level of passion than coaching my own flesh and blood. So I don't know, I don't even know if I want to teeter that right now, but like you said, we'll see.
Yeah. Perspectives can definitely change. But right now, I don't anticipate it. But I definitely am excited when they do start getting this. If they do, I'm not saying that Kyler or Cade are going to. a sure thing. They gonna do whatever they want to do. But if they do get into it, I definitely am happy to be a fan of my children, of my boys.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would be the biggest fan for sure.
I know you're their biggest fan right now.
Facts. So however it plays out, I'm just happy. I'm just happy that they doing their thing and doing something positive, doing something productive.
Yes, sir, man. But that was just on my mind, Coach, as we segue to these playoffs, man. So let's start with yesterday. I believe the first game of the night was the Thunder and the Grizz. No, I think it was the Heat and Cavaliers. Cavaliers won in dominant fashion. They went up 3-0. Didn't have Darius Garland. Yeah, they was giving Darius Garland. They were giving Darius Garland some shit because in his post game conference and news conference after game 2, he was like, their game play was pretty much pick on Tyler Hero, like pretty much like he can't guard, he a cone. Game 3 comes, Darius Garland doesn't play, Tyler Hero does, and so Charles Barkley was like, "Hey, you can't do that. Like you ain't got to guard him today. He could have woke up a beast." And Tyler Hero go for 40-50. Of course, that wasn't the case. But you can't talk like that and then sit out the next game. Like you can't. That's something you just can't do. But
what did he sit out for?
I can't remember what it was a sprained big toe.
Oh man, that's wild. A sprained big toe.
Yes, I mean I work your balance and whatnot, but I just wanted to. Darius, you talking that shit? You gotta play, bro. You gotta guard. You gotta play and you gotta guard. Tyler Hero. It was just I
wasn't mad at his comments though. I wasn't mad at his comments because
I love that shit. I love it. Yeah, hey, that's the way it goes. Like we attacking Tyler Hero. If he don't want to be attacked, guard. Simple as that. Like that part is fine. But if I know Tyler Hero, which I don't, but if I know he heard that, he a competitor, like, oh yeah, I'm about to bust it. Kind of like, bro, did you see how Dame? I'm kind of going back and forth in game 3, how Dame was sitting down, pause on Tyler on Halliburton, bro. Yes, yeah, bro, like locked in, like bro, like, but they was chirping, so what I'm saying, that's what I want to see. I'm trying to see that, like. Obviously, we just talked about the Cavs and Heat. That's going to be what I was going to ask you. Like, brooms, get the brooms out. It's over in 4, or gentleman sweep is over in 5.
Over in 4.
Yeah, so, and that's just the perfect segue to them OKC Thunder. Yes, sir.
Let me before we get started. Before we get started in that, I feel like the playoffs this year have been super competitive.
Yes.
It's been very chippy, in a good way. It's not nothing over the top, but guys, they competing, man. They competing, and this is the NBA that we like. This is the time of year in the NBA that all the fans enjoy. Guys competing at a high level. Shit really means something to them. Guys playing hard as they can. Putting their bodies on the line. It's great, man. It's great. We as fans, man, we gotta love the competition. We gotta love how hard guys are going. The stars are showing up. You can't really ask for nothing else if you're a fan of the game, man. So, just wanted to give those flowers to the NBA guys, man. Y'all doing y'all thing.
But you know what I don't like? You know what I feel like is about to happen, Coach? Did you see Jaylen? Well, I don't know if you didn't hear Jaylen Brown's comments after the last game, not the one that's currently taking place, but after game 3. He was like, I don't even feel like basketball anymore. And we might as well get to, it's pretty much at the point now to where we might as well fight to see who go to the second round. Like he was like, if they want to fight, we could just do that. I said, bro, that's soft, bro. Like that's soft. Like, because what that's going to turn into, especially since the missed call that happened today in the Knicks game. These refs about to get a memo from the league, and they about to start calling these games extra tight now. And like, I like the physicality of it. Like, the games are being played at a faster pace, which creates more excitement. There's no ticky-tack fouls. They're allowed to play like it's good defense being played. Like today, I think late in the third quarter, the Knicks had 60-something points. shit, these days they're getting 60 points halfway through the second. You know what I'm saying, bro? So it's just like it's the kind of basketball that I like. But for Jaylen Brown to make those comments just because y'all got out physical on the road, like just muscle up, bro. Lock in. Like I just got the report that they just ended up winning today's game. I'm pretty sure they played a more physical game, but like to complain publicly about, oh man, we might as well just fight to see go to the second round. Like, come on, dude, don't do that, man. Like this is basketball. This is playoff basketball. Like this is what I get it. Maybe you got beat up, bro, but stand up. You got a 10 count. Stand up before the ref count to 10. Swing, fight back. Right? Don't start fucking crying.
Ain't no way he said that, bro. He said we might as well fight.
Yes, bro. Please, bro. When we done this episode, please go. I looked at that with disgust, bro. Like, bro. Like
you doing too much.
We might as well fight to see go to if that's what they want. Scratching his beard and shit. We might as well fight to go see go to the second round. All right, bro. And I'm a fan of yours, Jaylen. I'm a fan of Jaylen Brown, but come on, bro. You know this. If you was in my shoes, man, you want to see this kind of basketball, bro. It ain't like y'all getting beat up. I mean, y'all beat or fight back, like beat them up back, bro. Like make the refs get control of the game, man. But again, it's been consistent across all the playoffs. These guys are letting them play. It's a different, like y'all gonna have to earn it. And I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I like it. I like how it's been played so far. OKC, OKC, man. What's your thoughts, man?
So these are my initial thoughts.
Matter of fact, let me go first because you the fan. You the OKC fan, so let me go first. All right. So I think OKC sent a clear message to the entire league, not just the West, but the entire league. Like, we're here. Last year, we went through our growing pains. All right, we grew. We're mature. All right, now we about to rock and roll. We about to run through the West. Ultimately, I think they're going to meet the Celtics in the finals, and I think it's going to be a 7-game series. I really do. I really do. But first things first. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I think they did a really good job with not with OKC, with the Grizzlies. They handled them. I love Chet. I think Chet is the X factor on the team. He plays extremely hard. He competes. He plays at a high level. He can shoot it. He can put it on the floor. He don't care about getting dunked on. He gonna contest every shot at the rim. If he gets dunked on, so what? Damn near most of the time he blocking it anyway. So I think he's the guy. I think he's the X factor. Shea gonna be Shea. You guys play really good defense, so defensively you are really strong. But I think Chet is the X factor, and I think he is poised to continue to play as well as he has been this past series. So that's my thoughts, and yeah, I think these guys are ready to rock and roll for sure.
Yeah. I'll be quick since we got a lot of games to get through. Chet's the X factor. Defensively, I think we're pretty sound. I think our guys are just bought in. I don't think we're going to lose a playoff game at home. We had some hard fought victories on the road against Memphis in Game 3 and Game 4, but we dominated at the crib. And obviously we got home court advantage, throughout the playoffs, man. So easy sweep. But I will say this. I was talking to Trey yesterday. Shout out Cuzzo. He's an OKC fan as well, and he agreed when I said this. I do not. If I had to pick between the Clippers and the Nuggets, I would want to see the Nuggets rather than the Clippers. I do not want to see Kawhi. I don't want to see James Harden. I think the Clippers are playing pretty well right now. They're just unfortunately in one of the greatest first round matchups through the first 4 games I've seen in recent times. And I think that's a perfect time to transition to that finish yesterday. I don't know if you've seen that game yesterday, Coach, but the comeback that the Clippers made in the fourth quarter, I think they had outscored them. Matter of fact, I think it was like 34-14 at some point. So like the Nuggets were up pretty big. Clippers went on a crazy run, but ultimately ended up losing. Aaron Gordon caught the air ball and literally the ball wasn't even all the way through the net, but it was through. As the buzzer went off, they did a review, and I thought it was a good shot as well. Then they ended up winning to tie the series up 2-2 to take back home court advantage, man. But, man, have you been tapped into this series, man, the Nuggets and the Clippers?
Yeah, man, it's been a great series so far. I do want to say something I've noticed in this series. Jokic, sensational player, one of the best of
Greatest.
all time. He can't argue it. He can definitely argue he's the greatest. Like he's a killer. But I will say, what's my man name from the Clippers? Zubac.
Zubac, yes.
Zubac has done a really good job. I want to shout out Zubac, man. I think
For
he's
sure.
done a good job. I think he does a. I think he's actually bothers Jokic just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I ain't
Mm-hmm.
saying that he ain't. I ain't saying he's shutting him down, nothing like that. But I do feel like he does a good job of trying to keep him in front. I do feel like he does a good job of frustrating him. Zubac is a 7-footer as well, so I think he does a good job of guarding him without fouling him, making him take
Yeah.
tough contested shots. I mean, anytime Joker puts us on the floor, he does his best to cut him off. I mean, he's done a good job so far. I gotta shout him out, man. I think he's kind of been an X factor for the series too. And he not only is he playing pretty good defense, but he also does the little things as far as like rebounding the ball, finishing around the rim. He does a really good job of that. So obviously Kawhi and Harden, they're gonna get all the attention, but the role players are really important in this series too. And I think Zubac has deserved some recognition throughout this series so far. And if he can continue to compete with Joker, I think the Clippers can pull this series out for sure.
I hope they don't, but as Zubac, like you say, he's definitely improved tremendously. I think Harden is a big part in elevating his game. He's improved as a scorer. He actually said that he actually was studying how Jokic handles his double teams because he's finding himself getting doubled a lot due to his improved post game on the offensive end. But it's funny that you say he's been doing good on Jokic, and yesterday Jokic had 36, 21, and 8 with 2 turnovers. But to your point, like again, but this is no knock to Zubac. Like we've seen Jokic do this against the best of the best. Like Jokic gave AD hell and route to their championship a couple of years ago. But yeah, bro. Great series. It's going 7. I don't know what this game 5 is going to be so amazing. I can't wait for it. Yeah, man. We're gonna see where that goes, man. Then the last game of yesterday was the Warriors and the Rockets. A huge win by the Warriors. They won 104-93 without Jimmy Butler. Steph Curry, I think, scored maybe like 14 or 15 points in the fourth quarter. Propelled them to a victory. How they were guarding Steph in that game yesterday, they were not letting him get any open shots, but he was beating him off the dribble. He had a lot of shots at the rim. He did end the game with 5 threes. Hit some big ones in the fourth quarter. But what I seen yesterday, man, the Rockets, Jaylen Green was in a straight jacket, man. And Amen Thompson, he kind of struggled a little bit too. He really couldn't get going, really couldn't finish. I really feel like if the Rockets just had a little bit from one of those two, they would have been fine. Fred VanVleet shot the ball okay. The Rockets lost that game. They did everything. They were doing everything well, and then Steph just started Stephing in the fourth quarter. But I think the Rockets were in prime position to have a huge lead. They just couldn't freaking score. Again, Jaylen Green was just the game prior. Jaylen Green had 30 plus. They made sure they didn't happen again. The Warriors developed a great defensive game plan. And things got chippy towards the end of that game between Jaylen Green and Draymond Green. So I'm excited to see how that matchup is going to go in game 4. Yep, game 4, which is I would say a must win for the Rockets. It's a must win. They're down 2-1. It's a must win for them boys.
I am not a fan of Houston. I do not like how they are second in the West. I don't think they're good at all. Just point blank period. I don't know what they did to get a number 2 seed in the West. I'm not big on. I don't like keep up with regular season as detailed as the playoffs, obviously. So I don't know how in the hell they got a number 2 seed in the West. It makes no sense to me. When I watch the Houston Rockets, I feel like I'm watching a playing team. Dillon Brooks, he's a defender. He can't do anything offensively. Amen Thompson, he cannot shoot. I love Thompson twin, but he cannot shoot. You don't have to guard him.
That's
Jalen
how he was guarding
Green.
him too. He got the ball on the perimeter. They were off of him, like super drop.
Yeah. You don't have to guard him. You don't have to guard him. And the thing about it, when you put him on the floor, like he's very good defensively, and I love him on the defensive end. I think he can guard 1 through 5. But I mean, on the offensive end, you don't have to guard him. Now your driving lanes are clogged up. Now
Yeah.
I can just show a bunch of help. I can load up on Jalen Green. Like now he can't get to the rim. Now he got to take tough contested shots. It's just a snowball effect when he's on the floor. When you don't have to guard somebody, it can mess up your whole entire offense. But I mean, I think he'll get better. I think he's destined to be an all-star. But right now, in this current moment, he got to get that jump shot. He got to find some way to have some type of consistency with his jump shot. Yeah. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a 3. It can be a mid-range. He can have a nice little mid-range jump shot. I think that can help out. But right now, man, like he's damn near unplayable just for the simple fact that, I mean, I can take away your best player because I don't have to guard this other player over here. So Houston, man, they ain't got it. And they about to get up out of here. What additions can they make in the offseason to get better? Or what do they need to address? Like, what's the number one thing that they need to address to continue to build? I hear people saying they're gonna get KD.
I mean, I think KD. I mean, it's KD, so like you're not going to say no to KD, but I don't think the Rockets. I think what they just need to do is stay together. Like I look at a team like the Timberwolves, who pretty much keeps their same core, and like we're seeing the benefits of having the same guys. The Denver Nuggets, like that's how they really get. Like it's the same guys. We're not making many changes. The Rockets are young. They have great pieces. You know what I'm saying? I just think their time just isn't now. I think development is what they need. I don't think they have to necessarily add in. I mean, Sengun, I like him as a big. Like I said, Fred VanVleet is just that veteran piece with the championship experience. Jalen Green is going to be an all-star for years to come. Thompson Twin, again, once he develops a jump shot, he's going to be a great Robin to Jalen Green. They still got Jabari Smith, who played a good game yesterday. He's coming off the bench. Like I said, I mean, they got a defender in Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks just has to mold his game after Draymond Green. Like, one thing that Draymond said in one of his podcasts was that, like, it was a mission of his to get to a point to where he's able to, knock down, shooting about 37, 38%, a 3, a wide open 3. Him having it, and there have been games this year where Draymond, he can give you 1 or 2 threes. Or, you ain't just leaving them wide open no more, or playing off of them. And back when they were in their glory days, Draymond was able to hit a wide open 3 and whatnot. Shit, in Game 7, he had 30 points and was shooting the lights out of the ball. Then he kind of got away from it, and now he put that back into his game. So to answer your question, I don't think that, like, I think KD, if they get a KD via trade, they're going to trade a lot of these pieces, and we don't know how much longer KD has. And I think a lot of these pieces, like KD, KD's been bouncing around and shit hasn't been working. So at one point, did we say, like, maybe it's KD? And again, KD's gonna get his. Like, KD is gonna get his buckets. I don't know what more does KD need around him, because we done tried the Nets, and he chose to go to the Nets, didn't work out. Gets traded to Phoenix. They trade Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. These pieces, these vital wings, they helped them get to the championship, the finals a few years prior. They gave it all away for KD. Look at where the Suns are at. So then, all right, so now the Rockets, they're going to trade all their pieces away. And mind you, like you said, number 2 seed, there's nothing to sleep on. They accomplished it in some way with the pieces that they currently have. So let's just enhance these pieces. We don't got to, because if they trade for KD, bro, most people are going, a lot of people are going. And I get it. KD, first ballot Hall of Famer, 50, 40, 90 guy, 2 rings, but I'm not fiending out for KD at this point, personally. I think the Rockets just got to develop. That's all they need.
Ooh, that's a bold statement from one of the biggest KD fans I know. Sheesh.
Oh, it's just I don't think, like, they're going to have to give up a lot. It ain't worked out. Now, if he just chose to sign there, but that's not an option. He has to. Someone has to trade for him because off the top they're going to probably trade Jabari. They're going to probably trade. They might. I don't know, bro. I don't. They might
Tari
include
Easton.
Thompson.
They gonna
Maybe no. They're
they
gonna.
gonna
But
trade
the
Tari
Suns
Easton.
gonna need. The Suns gonna want more, bro. They gonna want more. We talking about KD. They might have to throw Thompson twin or Sengun in there. Two pieces they don't need to trade. I know Jalen Green's not getting traded.
Man, I'll get Jalen Green out of there in a heartbeat.
I don't know, bro. KD pushing what?
Yeah, I said it.
I feel you, bro, but I know my boy Aaron Bolton, man. He gonna be mad when you hear this because he the biggest Jalen Green fan I
Yep,
know.
I said it. Yep, I said it. I said it. Aaron, you my dog, man. But I get KD in Houston in a heartbeat for Jalen Green.
But yeah, man, more development. I think, yeah, they just keep everybody together. Don't make no changes, man. Chemistry, I think, is a very underrated measure of team success. I'm big on chemistry. I think that matters. So yeah, that's just where I'm at with that, man.
True.
Then segue to today, man. We had some great games, starting with the Knicks and the Pistons. Very controversial ending. Tim Hardaway Jr. gets a corner three, and appears to make obvious contact from Josh Hart. No foul was called. Fans are booing. Fans are going crazy. The referees actually came out and said that they made a mistake. Coach, how does that make you feel, man? Like, we talking about the difference between, because they were down one. So all Tim Hardaway got to do is make 2 free throws, 2 out of the 3 free throws, and they win. He's a good free throw shooter,
and they win. Yeah.
So like, that's the difference between 2 and 2 and 3 and 1. Now I will say this: this is my coaching hat. The Pistons shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. they were winning.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, it was.
I said the same thing.
Factors. Yeah, coach. It's other factors that went into like, and again, like, that's why I'm a firm believer. Don't leave it in the hands of the referees to make or miss a call. There were so many other things. I think it was at one point where the Pistons was just turning the ball over back to back to back, and I'm just like, they're just blowing this game, and then it gets to a point where they're trading.
Y'all playing with fire
again. Yeah, y'all shouldn't have been in this situation. So now obviously the refs don't make a call, and y'all are so mad, or we could have won this game if we get that call. You shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. I don't know why they continue to let Jaylen Brunson. I'm blitzing Jaylen Brunson. I'm sending 2 at him. I'm my big length on him. Like, bro, it's not that tall, but bro, this dude is single-handedly brought the Knicks back, and then Cat kind of propelled them to that point to where, all right, we hit some big shots. But I blame the Pistons. Need to look at film. Don't blame the referees. Look at film and be like, man, this is where we was fucking up at. Like, I'm not. That's my coaching hat. Now, as a fan, refs missed the call. Does Tim Hardaway probably make 2 out of 3? Yeah, he probably does. But there's other things that went into that situation and went into that game. So I'm not. If I'm the head coach of the Pistons, I'm looking at what we could have, what the hell, what went wrong. How did we even get in this position in the first place?
Yeah, facts. I'm happy you said something about Jaylen Brunson, because Jaylen Brunson is a guy who I really just cannot figure out. Like, I do not know how he excels in the playoffs, how he does. He is, he's making a case for being one of the best point guards in the NBA. And it's crazy because, like, he doesn't jump out the gym, not super athletic. He's quick. He handles the ball well, but
very precise with
it's not moves. Like he got. Yeah. I was just about to say that. It's not like he got this crazy handle like Kyrie or Steph or nothing like that. But
he used that shoulder, get that
like you said. Yeah. Like you said, like he's very concise with his movement. He's straight to the point. It's not too many wasted motions or too many wasted dribbles. He uses his body extremely well. He uses up fakes extremely well. He's very crafty. Yeah, plays off too. He's just a really, really smart player, man. Like, I really like his game, and it's nothing that really jumps out to me, just from a talent standpoint. I just feel like he's a guy who knows how to play the game. He knocks down open shots. He can post up smaller guards. He finishes well around the rim. He knows how to read screen rolls. So,
and left-handed, it's hard. It's hard to guard a left-handed dude, man.
Yeah, facts, man. So I mean, it's crazy. Like, I like his game, but I just don't know how he gets away with. I don't know how he puts up the numbers that he puts up with what he has in his toolbox. If that makes sense. I don't even know. I don't know if I'm dissing him. I don't know if I'm showing him love, but
no, I get what you're saying. It's unique, man. Like, but something that he's always harped on is just like the repetition. Like, he constantly practiced shots in which he knew he had to have in his arsenal with his height and his skill set. He's trying to touch the paint. He don't shoot many threes. If he gets two in the paint, he's gonna get to a point to where he's finishing at the rim, or like I said, using your speed against you, bumping you at the right time, creating that space, or doing reverse pivots, jumping off two. And if he gets in the paint, it's damn near a bucket every single time, man. I respect his craft because he has to be creative in how he scores. He's one of the best scorers in the league. He just won the clutch award in the NBA. So, but like you said, it's kind of tough to figure out. Like, Jaylen Brunson does have stretches in which, and I mean, the Knicks get that, like, during his run in the fourth quarter, they was giving him the ball on the wing and ISO, like, what I'm saying, just go to work. Again, the Pistons were guarding kind of weird. I don't know. In that situation, I may be playing off Josh Hart, loading up off of him, and forcing him to beat us as opposed like I just don't. I don't understand that. Like, I'm not about to let this one guy just goddamn beat me. He kind of reminds me of Jayon Williams. He J5, what everybody call him. He go to Northampton County. One of the best scorers I've ever coached against. But I made it a mission, like, we weren't about to lose to him. Like, he had, he had to put his teammates in a position to be successful, which he ultimately did. Northampton swept us this past year, but every game was close. But it was a mission to make sure that Ja didn't do what he's known for doing. He won Conference Player of the Year for a reason. He could score, go left, go right, crafty. But he was a very high focal point of our scout, as Jaylen Brunson would be. Again, I'm not losing, and it was a must-win game. It was a must-win game for the Pistons, in my opinion. No one wants to go down 3-1, especially having to go back to New York, and now a must-win game when your season's over with. So yeah, man.
Yeah, but Detroit, man, they're ahead of schedule, in my opinion. They'll be back next year.
They coming better. Now, if they get a KD, that's totally different than the Rockets. Because the Pistons can shop Tim Hardaway Jr., Tobias Harris, goodbye. Dennis Schroeder, bye. Like, these are guys, they can all go. As long as they got Cade Cunningham, Kevin Durant, and Jaren Duran, we can build around that. I like that much better than KD with the Rockets.
No, I agree. Definitely makes sense. The Pistons, they do have some expendable pieces, so
hell yeah,
for sure, that makes sense.
Lakers Timberwolves, coach. Timberwolves won a very good game, 116-113. Lakers were leading damn near the whole game. Timberwolves fought back. Turned the ball over. Shooting, I would say, when I say bad shots, just untimely. Just some bad threes. It was a situation that LeBron had shot a three from the right wing, and I just didn't like that shot selection. I felt like he should have got to the rim. Turnovers down the stretch. Ultimately, Timberwolves played good perimeter defense from what I saw, and then hit some big shots. Naz Reid hit 2 big threes. Anthony Edwards played well per usual. I think he ended the game with, if I'm not mistaken, I think Anthony Edwards had 43. Yeah, I'm about to say 43.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And then it was the right when Luka he called timeout when Jalen McDaniel, he slid. I thought it was a travel, but he called timeout. And LeBron was inbounding the ball and did a bounce pass because they had to get it into the front court. They only had a second left. So he did a bounce pass into the front court that ultimately got stolen. Didn't like that pass. I can't remember if they didn't have it, if they had any more timeouts, but during like that sideline out of bounds to advance the ball, that was a costly turnover. So yeah, man. Now it is 3-1 going back to LA.
I mean, do you feel like the Lakers about to lose? Because I don't think they're gonna lose. I think they're gonna win it in 7. I ain't gonna lie.
So I had it going 7, Coach. And I'm not I'm not betting against LeBron James. I'm not betting against Luka. But again, the Timberwolves, man, I love how they play basketball. I love how they play, man. I love how Finch got them boys playing. I love Anthony Edwards. Rudy Gobert's playing great defense. McDaniels is like McDaniels was smothering Luka, man. Like I'm a fan of how the Timberwolves, and I've been a big fan of Mike Conley. I feel like he's just the ultimate vet. But these guys, like I went in, and Julius Randle has been playing phenomenally, Coach. Like shooting the ball at a high clip. It was a possession when he was guarding Luka. He ended up fouling him on the 3, and he knew it, but forced Luka into a bad shot that he contested, and got him on the arm a little bit. But locked in defensively, like Julius Randle, I haven't seen before. So I think that's just the AE effect and the Timberwolves coach. The Timberwolves top 5 in defensive efficiency. And they've been that way for the past 3 years. And I think Julius Randle was bought into that. I think people were kind of figuring out who won the Julius Randle cat trade. But as of right now, I mean, Julius Randle was playing amazing, bro. So what are some of your thoughts from that game?
Yeah, I didn't watch the game. I do agree with you just in terms of how the Timberwolves play defense. I think they do a really good job of bothering Luka as much as they can. Luka, man, he's so hard to guard because he's really, really good at drawing fouls, which makes a defender kind of timid to guard him. And you can't be on your heels when you guard a guy like Luka. But I do feel like McDaniels, AE, Julius, all those guys, man, they really compete. They really buy in on the defensive end. I did see a couple of highlights where AE was, doing his thing, making threes, getting to the rim. He's electrifying. He's a guy who he's damn near must see TV, especially in the playoffs. I do like how competitive he was getting with LeBron. I think he took on the assignment of guarding LeBron, especially towards the end of the game. So, I think it's a situation where the Lakers, they'll win the next game, and then all the pressure is going to be on Minnesota to win Game 6. And I think that pressure might get to them. I think the Lakers will win that road game, Game 6, and then it's going to go back to LA for Game 7. And we all know how LeBron is. We all know how Luka is in Game 7 situation. So I think that's how it's going to go. The Lakers do got to just take it one game at a time, man. At the end of the day, you can't win 3 without winning the first one. So get back home, get some home cooking, and I think they'll take care of Minnesota this next game.
And Braun has already done it on the biggest stage, so I don't see why he couldn't do it again. So another exciting series, man. The West matchups are just shitting on the East matchups, in my opinion. As we transition to the Celtics and Magic, I didn't really watch that game, but I see the Celtics won. They're up 3-1 now. I think they'll close it out when they go back to Boston for Game 5. I think it's over. And then currently the Pacers and Bucks are playing. I will say this, though, about the Magic Celtics. Paolo is playing amazing. He's going to be very great for many years to come. I'm a big fan of Paolo. And the Magic, man, they compete, man. They're competing against a good team. So it's like these. You just said you feel like the Celtics are going to the finals. And the Magic aren't they're not rolling over at all, man. They playing their asses off. Again, that was a close. I did watch a little bit. It was a close game in the third quarter. I didn't see the end of it, the conclusion. But Celtics is so deep, man. It's just hard to score with them. And I think the Magic, I think they hit the least amount of threes in the NBA this past season, and the Celtics hit the most. And you already know, in today's day and age of basketball in the NBA, you got to be able to hit the three. So Magic just got to look to develop, add some more pieces around P5 and Franz Wagner. And obviously Jalen Suggs was out for the rest of the year. So I think the Magic are definitely headed in the right direction as well. And the Celtics just going to do what they do. Go ahead, Coach. You about to say something?
I was just about to say, I love Paolo. I love his game. But one thing I think he needs to do a better job of is just his not necessarily shot selection, more so his shot profile. He takes a lot of twos. He takes contested twos. I think he got to get away from that. I think he can knock those in, but I think he needs to get away from that. I think he needs to take more threes. I think he's capable of shooting a three at a high clip. And I think he got to become a little bit more of a bull as well. Kind of similar to the conversation we had. I think it might have been the last pod about how much of a bull Carmelo Anthony was getting to the rim, applying pressure to the defense, not settling for jumpers, getting to where you want to go. I think he has the build and the framework to do so. I don't think that's always in his mind. I think if he just put his head down, got to the rim a little bit more, lay off the twos, the lone twos. I think that could propel the Magic, because like you said, as a whole, they don't really shoot that many threes. And I mean, a lot of times it's because Paulo has the ball in his hands and he doesn't shoot that many threes, but he does shoot the ball. He does take not contested twos, but he takes a lot of twos, long twos. So I think he needs to just reshape his shot profile a little bit. I think that can help him out and help the team out in the long run.
Yeah, man. But they can work on that shit next year because they finna go home. And then Pacers and Bucks. That's a very interesting series too, man. Currently, as we speak, Pacers up 42-35. I still got the Bucks winning that series. I just think the Pacers are the Bucks' kryptonite. I think once they get past them, I think they'll kind of lock into the Bucks. And then Dame is slowly phasing his way back in. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Dame for making his return. After dealing with the blood clot situation, we know they ended Chris Bosh's career. Obviously, don't want to see a player like Dame go out like that. A top 75 player all time. So you want to shout him out in that aspect. But hope the Bucks are able to put a prediction. I don't really care. But my prediction was the Bucks to pull that one out. Probably tap in to the end of that game. Once you and I are done. But what's your prediction for that, Coach? Pacers up 2-1 in the series. You think they end up ultimately winning, or what's your predictions about that series since it's still going on?
I just looked at the TV. It seemed like Dame might have sprained his ankle. It did something to his ankle. I think he needs to be. I think he got to be like he can't be hobbled in this series for the Bucks to win. So just based off that, I'll probably take the Pacers, man. I don't like the Pacers. I'm not a big fan of the Pacers. I like their style of play, but I just don't like the personnel. In my opinion, so I think they'll get by the Bucks, but I don't see them making no significant run in the playoffs this year. I'm not a huge fan of Halliburton. I like his game, but I'm just not a huge fan of some of his antics. So ultimately, I don't really got no skin in the game. I don't really care who wins or loses, but I just don't see the Pacers doing too much damage in the playoffs outside of winning this first round matchup. So we'll see. We'll see how that go.
All right, man. Well, to close, so we got a lot of love, man. With our you actually got a lot of love about your Nickelodeon list, man. I feel like the feedback from that little segment was pretty cool, man. So I got one for you. So for those that don't know, I love cereal. I probably eat cereal every night, keep it in the house. My brother Miles, he also likes cereal. All right, so he considers himself a cereal connoisseur, and so do I. So, Booby, now listen, I'm gonna give you so you can so you can think. We're gonna do not Mount Rushmore, but I'm gonna give you just like my top 3. I'm gonna say my current top 3. So what I'm currently like fascinated with cereal. I'm not going to share my all-time list, but I'm not going to include Frosted Flakes because Frosted Flakes is the LeBron James of cereals. So it's in a class of its own. So I'm not including Frosted Flakes.
Why do people be saying that?
He ain't trying to piss me off, y'all, but it's a good Sunday. I'm not about to get mad. All right. No order. And like I said, this is what I'm currently fixated on. Fruity Pebble marshmallows. Goodness gracious. Cookie Crisp. And last, but most certainly not least, bro, have you had that cinnamon crunch? So like everybody know they got a Captain Crunch berries. They got cinnamon crunch now. It ain't as extreme as cinnamon toast crunch. It don't get all soggy quick like cinnamon toast crunch. It ain't overly cinnamony. It's the perfect amount of cinnamon, the perfect amount of sugar with the vanilla almond milk. Man. So that thing right there, coach, I don't think you can top it. I don't think you can top it with that thing right now. Like we could go do all time another day because I'm already knowing your list ain't nothing compared to mine. But give me your 3 cereals right now that you like that's in your bag right now.
Before I give my cereals, it's like you saying all this stuff about like stuff cereal getting soggy too quick.
Yeah.
Not really having that flavor. I feel like matter of fact, let me just slow down. I'm gonna slow down. I ain't about to go in. Let me stay tapped in. All right, so I'm gonna go Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch, that's easy. That's
like wait.
one.
Just the Captain Crunch or like peanut
Captain Crunch, the OG, no, the OG yellow box, Captain Crunch.
Got you. Okay.
All right. Then you got Cinnamon Toast Crunch. They like 1A, 1B.
Overrated.
All right. No. You see, that's what I was about to say about Frosted Flakes, bro. Frosted Flakes is so overrated, bro. I don't see why everybody said, and it's not just you. It's not just you. Because, you just compared. You just said Frosted Flakes was LeBron.
It's unreliable.
Everybody said
coach.
that.
Like, if you don't know what to get in the
everybody
store,
says
you can't
that.
go wrong.
I just don't.
You can't go wrong with Frosted Flakes.
I don't understand why people say that.
Because if you don't know what to get, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go. It's kind of like McDonald's French fries. You don't know what to get. You know them fries go bust every time. Get the fries. What's unreliable at Cookout growing up? The strip tray. You don't know what to get? Just get the strip tray. Just get the strip tray. It's all reliable. $4.32. You know what I'm saying? It's the Supreme. It's the chicken Supremes from Bojangles. You don't know what to get from Bojangles? I'm gonna just get the Supremes, bro. I'm gonna call it safe. That's what Frosted Flakes is to the cereal community. Is you play it safe. You don't know what to get. Let me just get some Frosted Flakes. Pour up. I'm good to go.
They don't get too soggy though. Like they get soggy as soon as the milk touch the cereal.
Nah, man, you gotta have that. See, I'm not the type to just take a bite and let it. I'm God now. What Ezekiel Elliott used to do, bro? That's me, dog. That's me, bro. That's me. I'm smashing the cereal and pouring up another. Like I said, bro, it's gonna be about 2-3 bowls. It's a staple in the crib. Like, actually, just finished a box of Honey Nut Cheerios. They were delicious.
I rock with Honey Nut Cheerios.
Like I said, bro, I don't. If you name it, I probably done had it, bro. Like I'm the type, like I spend some time on the cereal aisle. It's gonna take me a little minute, like a kid in a candy. You know how you get when you in a candy store. Like one of the that's me on the cereal aisle.
Do you mix the cereals together?
Man. Nah, I'm not really a fan. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of that. The only thing I will do say if I got a little bit of Frosted Flakes left, I eat the Frosted Flakes, and if I got a box of Cookie Crisp, I just pour that on top of the same milk. Do you drink your milk after you eat your cereal?
Yeah, I do.
I was about to say, bro, if you eat cereal and you don't drink the milk afterwards, you're not part of the conversation. Like it's nothing to discuss because that's a factor in picking what cereal. Like the milk afterwards, that matters.
Nah, facts. You gotta try mixing them, bro. You ain't never tried it, I can tell. You gotta try that, man. You would like it.
What's your go-to? Like, what's your mix? Like, talk to me.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Captain Crunch. Mix them in the same bowl, half and half. And then if I'm feeling froggy, I'll put the granola in there as well. Make a 3-in-1.
But you always been a mixing type dude though, because you put me on mixing the balsamic vinaigrette with the ranch. Like you always mixing. You get the
Yeah, yeah,
barbecue
yeah, yeah,
sauce and
yeah.
get the barbecue sauce and the honey mustard from Cookout. You've always been like a experimenting kind of guy when it comes to your foods.
Hey, try it, bro. Try it. I guarantee you like it.
Man, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna tap in. I don't know if it'll be by the time we record again, but I'm gonna do that for sure. I trust you with the balsamic and ranch, and man, that shit good as hell.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Your brother ain't gonna leave you wrong.
Hey, man, but take us home, Coach. I usually conclude it, man. But go ahead, take us home.
Oh yeah, man. Well, definitely appreciate everybody tuning in, showing love, all that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff for us, man. We appreciate y'all. Can't do this without y'all. Continue to tap in.